The United States government is bound by the U.S. Constitution. The form of government that the Constitution establishes for America is deeply rooted in Christian principles. While there are many examples of Christian principles in the Constitution, there are a few examples that stand out. Written all throughout the document is balance and accountability in government. The framers knew that balance and accountability are necessary to maintain the rights of the people because men are not perfect. The Constitution establishes a government that is full of checks and balances, not giving all governmental authority to one person or one branch of the government. It also gives provisions for accountability, requires an oath of office for government officials, allows government officials to be removed from office when necessary, and allows for amendments to be made to the Constitution, a forever imperfect document because it was written by imperfect men. This is a principle that is very clear in the Bible. An example of the many instances where it is mentioned is Romans 3:23, which says, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God." The clear truth of man's sinful state and faith in Jesus Christ as the only cure is woven throughout Scripture, and accordingly, the framers made sure that America's government was able to protect the liberties of the people, even through the sinful state of mankind and subsequently the sinful state of any leader. In Article 1, Section 8, the Congress is given the power to deal with standards in weight, measures, and currency. This power in the Constitution reads, to coin money, to regulate the value thereof and of foreign coin, and to fix the standards of weights and measures. There are several mentions in the Bible about having a just and equal weight. Proverbs 11:1 says, "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight." In Proverbs 20:10, it states, "Diverse weights and diverse measures, both of them are alike an abomination to the Lord." It also says in Proverbs 20:23, "Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good." Another Christian principle in the Constitution is the concept of not accepting bribes. This principle is found in Article 1, Section 9, as well as Article 2, Section 1. The mention in Article 1, Section 9 reads, "No title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without consent of the Congress, accept of any present, emolument, office, or title of any kind whatever from any king, prince, or foreign state." And the mention in Article 2, Section 1 reads, "The President shall, at stated times, receive for his services a compensation which shall neither be increased nor diminished during the period for which he shall have been elected, and he shall not receive within that period any other emolument from the United States or from any of them." The concept of not accepting bribes is found in many places in the Bible. Exodus 23:8 says, "And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteous." Deuteronomy 16:18-20 says, "Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, throughout thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. Thou shalt not wrest judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift. For a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise, and pervert the words of the righteous. That which is altogether just shalt thou follow, that thou mayest live and inherit the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee." Psalm 26:9-10 says, "Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes." Proverbs 17:23 says, "A wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of judgment." And finally, Isaiah 33:15-16 says, "He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions, and that shaketh hands from the holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from the hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil, he shall dwell on high, his place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks. His bread shall be given him, his waters shall be sure." A third Christian principle found in the Constitution is the requirement of 2 witnesses or open confession for the conviction of treason. This provision is found in Article 3, Section 3, and says, "No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of 2 witnesses to the same overt act or on confession in open court." The concept of having two witnesses before conviction is also found in the Bible. Deuteronomy 17:6 says, "At the mouth of two witnesses or three witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, but at the mouth of one witness shall he not be put to death." Deuteronomy 19:15 states, "One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity or for any sin, in any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of two witnesses or at the mouth of three witnesses shall the matter be established." Matthew 18:16 says, "But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established." 2 Corinthians 13:1 states, "This is the third time I have come unto you. In the mouth of two or three witnesses shall every word be established." 1 Timothy 5:19 says, "Against an elder receive not an accusation, but before two or three witnesses." Finally, Hebrews 10:28 states, "He that despised Moses' law died without mercy under two or three witnesses." A fourth Christian principle found in the Constitution is found in Article 3, Section 3, and says, "The Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of the person attainted." The forbidding of punishing the children for the parents' crimes is also mentioned in the Bible. Deuteronomy 24:16 says, "The father shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin." Ezekiel 18:20 also states, "The soul that sinneth, it shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him." A fifth Christian principle that can be found in the Constitution is found in Article 4, Section 2, which says, "The citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of the citizens in the several states." The concept of the law applying without bias is also found in the Bible. Deuteronomy 1:17 says, "Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it." Romans 2:11 also says, "For there is no respect of persons with God." The founders of America viewed equality as a right given by the Creator, as clearly stated in the Declaration of Independence when it says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." A sixth Christian principle that can be found in the Constitution is found in Article 1, Section 7, and says, "If any bill shall not be returned to the President within 10 days, Sundays excepted, after it shall have been presented to him, the same shall be a law in like manner as if he had signed it, unless the Congress, by their adjournment, prevent its return, in which case it shall not be a law." The Bible is clear about the Sabbath of rest. Exodus 29 says, "6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work." Deuteronomy 5:13 repeats the same thing. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. Throughout history, Sunday has been the Sabbath of rest for Christians, and the framers acknowledged that and accepted Sunday from the constitutional work days of the President of the United States. In conclusion, while this is not a complete list, the Constitution reflects the Christian character of its framers, is based on biblical principles, and is a beautiful example of America's Christian heritage.